Hi, and welcome to Out of Curiosity with Mz.ChiGurl. And I'm going to be your host, Mz.ChiGurl. Today we're going to review the new Netflix reality show, W.A.G.S. to Riches. And I'm going to go over episode one. Please stick around and like and subscribe to this video if you want updates to my review of the other episodes. And let's get started. Okay, so we start off with an introduction from somebody who calls herself the Black Barbie. We later on find out that this person is Sade. I don't remember her last name. We'll get into that later. But Sade basically gives us an introduction to what it's like to be a WAG and the definition itself. So WAG is a term that's used in the sports world and all the, I want to say, leagues where it means you're a wife and girlfriend of somebody who's in the sports league. And so she said the old definition meant that you were somebody who was taken care of. Whereas now the new definition is that you're somebody who brings something to the table, and that, if you will, you're kind of equally yoked in that relationship. It's no longer somebody who's a gold digger who's, coming up from her man. This woman has businesses, she has her own money, and they're the new power couple like Jay-Z and Beyonce. So I guess that's a good thing. We're moving forward in the world. We're not just being taken care of. And I will say that it's nice to see women who are working on experiences and showing women empowerment and what women can do, and not just staying at home taking care of the kids as well as their man who's out playing sports or whatever. For whatever reason, that lifestyle, when I was watching the original WAG series that used to come on it irritated me because it was like all they did was cater to their man and take care of the babies and then go out and socialize. Now, they did do charity work, on behalf of their husbands or boyfriends, but the rest of it was just really irritating. And so I do like the fact that these are career oriented women who are, trying to make something better for themselves and their children. So the episode starts out with the girls meeting on the golf court. We first meet Sherelle Rosado and Chad Johnson. I'm sorry, he also goes by Ochocinco. I hate that name. I'm going to call him by his government name, which is Chad Johnson. For those of you who do not know, he's also, I want to say, the half brother of Selena Johnson, Chicago's very own. Selena Johnson, she worked with, I want to say R. Kelly back in the day, sorry. And she also was on R&B Divas. She was on Cocktails with Queens recently. So I really like Selena Johnson. So this is her brother. Anyway, her brother is formerly known for not just playing football, but he came into our world, at least the pop culture world, when he married Evelyn Lozada for, I don't know, I want to say it was 2 months. I need to look that up. I'll get back to you with the correct information. But they were not married long at all. Anyway, after his relationship with Evelyn was over with, he got with Sherelle. And I must say he has a type. I mean, Evelyn Lozada is a Latina or Latinx, and Sherelle is biracial. She's black and white from what I saw. But it is still a type. She reminds me, though, of Nia Long. I will say that. I was looking at her and I'm like, she looks like somebody I've seen before. And it finally hit me in one of the scenes. I said, she looks like Nia Long. But anyway, so he's now with Sherelle, and they have a child together named Serenity. But you don't find that out until later in the episode. At this moment, they're playing golf on the golf course. And Sherelle is acting real different from what I recall when she was on Selling Tampa, which is also on Netflix, by the way. It only lasted one season, but I thought it was a good show, and I was looking forward to season two, but it just never got picked up. And so maybe this could be the reason why she's acting, at least in this scene, like she's some young kid or teenager in love. Because I'm like, girl, how old are you? You acting real childish right now. And then I don't know. Then the other girls came on the scene, so we get introduced to Alexis and Ashley, and they're like, "What is she doing? Why is she laughing so hard?" Because that's what I'm saying. She was literally acting like a teenager on the golf course with Chad. So I don't know. It just really irked me, especially in juxtaposition with how I saw her on Selling Tampa. They don't go together. It seemed like two different people. Anyway, so the girls eventually get together with Sherelle and with Chad, and then there's Ashley and there's Alexis. And I want to say also this other couple comes on board, Andre Berto and his wife, Portia. I'm not familiar with these sports people. Honestly, the only two spouses that I know on this show are Chad Johnson and Kodak Black. That's not saying much, but the other men, I don't know them. And then I was surprised that I actually knew some of the women. Like Ashley. Ashley was actually on W.A.G.S. Miami. Now I cannot remember everything about the show. I think I kind of liked her. Like it was kind of like a love-hate relationship. And so I see why I was love-hate because it's like sometimes in watching the whole show, I kind of liked her and sometimes I didn't. She just seems more like, you know, I don't know. You'll see. Watch the show. Okay. So they move on from, chatting and everything on the golf course and, talking about how Sherelle almost hit Chad with the golf clubs and so on and so forth. And then we move on to another scene. And Andre and Chad apparently were friends. And Andre asked Chad to hook his wife Portia up with Sherelle because I guess she wanted to get into real estate or she was in real estate. So long story short, Ashley works for Sherelle and Portia works for Sherelle. So maybe that's also why the vibes are. I, like I said, you'll see when you watch it. Okay, so we're still at the golf course and no one's really playing. And it just seems like it's the meetup spot for the group. Now, one thing I did take from this that I found interesting from this golf club outing was Portia noticed that Chad was wearing his wedding band. And so she was like, "What's going on with that? Did you guys elope and didn't tell me?" And he was like, "No, I'm wearing it because I'm trying to practice so that when I'm really married, um, you know, it feels natural." And she was like, "Okay, go, Chad." And she told her husband, "Hey, honey, you hear what Chad said? You need to do that." And he was like, "I box, honey. I can't wear my ring. I'm wearing the boxing and I'll hurt somebody." And she was like, "Well, we'll get you a rubber one or something." But yeah, that was an interesting thought, especially considering if you fast forward to what's going on in social media now. We already know that Chad and Sherelle aren't together anymore. And it may be allegedly because he was cheating. Not sure. I didn't watch her Carlos interview. Sorry. So I don't know exactly why they broke up. I'm assuming it's cheating because he cheated on Evelyn, which is what led to their DV situation. Supposedly, she was counting his condoms and one was missing. So it's like, Dad, you just got married. They were not married a good 6 months, and this man cheated on her. And they were married. And he's trying to do it again. So, anyway, it's interesting that he's doing it now and he's wearing the ring to practice. So, we'll see how that goes. Well, no, we already know how it goes, but good trying. I loved it. I love the effort, Chad. Anyway. So, we get a little background on what is it, Portia and Andre, and that they have two kids right now. And later on in the episode, spoiler alert, we find out that she's pregnant, And so he's been kind of daddy daycare while, she's out doing the real estate thing because apparently Andre is retired from boxing, which is a good thing because the boxers actually make a good amount of money. And I don't blame them for the stuff that happens to them. It's almost like with the football and the concussion of it all, they need a good penny because the things that might happen to them when they get ready to retire and get older, they're going to need some health care benefits and they just need that money to help take care of them later on. So anyway, so it's good that he's playing daddy daycare. I do like that. I like that we're seeing a black man who's active in his kids' life, who's, actually participating and being active in their childhood. I think that was a great look. So kudos to Andro. Woo! All right. So then Chad is talking about how Sherelle always wants the sex. He always wants to, or she always wants to be intimate. And so it's too much for him. We have to remember there's actually a 10-year age difference between Sherelle and Chad. And if I'm not mistaken, she's 37, 38, and he's 47, 48. So, yeah, he put her on a schedule. And I thought that was really interesting considering this man is allegedly known for always cheating, but he can't keep up with his woman. So then it makes you wonder, well, why the heck is he cheating? If you got a woman who wants the intimacy all the time, why are you going out looking for more? It just does not make sense to me. Don't get me started, but I just thought that was an interesting thought. So let me see. So the next scene is with this young woman named Miranda. Her nickname is MJ. And it's not spelled M and J. It's MJAE. So at first, I didn't know what the heck that name was. I was like, I'm an older generation. I'm sorry, I can't with these names, and so I just would have been M and J. I didn't know we had to spell out the J. Anyway, she's in a jewelry store getting ready to buy jewelry for her infant son. Why are we buying diamond jewelry for children, especially that cost that much? I'm getting ahead of myself, but let me just do the backstory. So MJ is the girlfriend of Kodak Black, and I'm like, girl, why? Why are you with Kodak Black? I mean, I don't know. I know I'm an older generation, but I can't tell you a Kodak Black song. And you know what I do know about this man? The only thing that my generation is seeing about this man is about him going to jail, about him being on drugs. I saw him when he was in his chubby season. I saw him when he lost weight. I saw that the former POTUS, who is now the current POTUS, pardoned him from jail, and I'm still like, why? And so then they're like, he got a second chance, but everybody believes that he's still allegedly using drugs. So why? Why do you want to mingle your genetics with this person? And my own personal bias against him, because I understand he has a bias against women who look like me. And I'm not talking about my size, I'm talking about my complexion. And so that already has a strike against me in my book for you. But why you want to mix with this man and he may be an alleged crackhead? I just don't understand it. People really don't think about it. Now, my son says that I bred him like a dog because my mama told me before you get with somebody, think about who they are and what they have. Because sometimes accidents happen and you could get pregnant. Think about what characteristics and qualities they have, and that you're going to be tied to this person for the next 18 years. And so I did that, and he had most of the characteristics I was looking for, but everybody's not perfect. Anyway, I think I still did a better job than Kodak Black. Now, he may not have the alleged money that Kodak Black has. But I would take what he does have over Kodak Black any day. Anyway, I'm sorry. I digress. I went off on a tangent. But she's in the jewelry store with two babies under two. And she's trying to buy the second baby a necklace, a diamond necklace that matches hers. And she asked how much the deposit was. And the guy behind the counter is like, the deposit is 35,000 or 34. Why the heck, excuse me, why the heck are we paying that much for baby jewelry? I understand, like, she went into this whole little thing where she was like, she wants to give her babies what she didn't have and her childhood and this and that. I understand all that. We as parents, we want our children to do better than we did. We want them to have the things that we didn't have. But why in excess? Why can't we do it? I mean, do what you want with your money. It's your money. But I'm like, I'm sorry. Why can't we give better things? Why can't you get something that's going to help your child? I don't know. Just do better and be a better person in this world. Having $35,000, or that's just a deposit. Having a diamond necklace is not helping that child to grow and become somebody in this world. Just my opinion. Okay. Anyway, so she talks about her backstory with how she met Kodak Black. And so this is another. Woo! So apparently he performed at her high school. Are you listening to me? He performed at her high school, and she followed him on Instagram and he followed her back. And he was such a gentleman that he waited until she was legal to answer or hit her up in the DMs, and that's how they got together. Yeah. Are you kidding me? This seems like grooming. What the F is going on? This young lady, she does not look like she's over 25. And she has two kids under two by Kodak Black. I'm happy. I love that she's a real estate agent. But this is, oh, I'm sorry. You're not gonna see this, so this is a spoiler alert. You're not gonna see this until the last episode, but this chick has a tattoo of R&R on her hand. I thought it stood for Rolls Royce. This chick says it stands for she's a real estate a real estate agent and a rapper. I've never heard of such a thing. To me, that just shows a little immaturity there, and that she needs to grow. I'm not saying you can't have your dreams. I mean, look at me. Like I said in my intro video, I work in corporate America. I've been working in corporate America for 28 years, and now I'm trying to be a content creator. But you know why that is? That's because it's time for me to pivot, because corporate America is some garbage right now. And with the all of the big companies coming out and getting rid of their DEI initiatives and so forth, the writing's on the wall. They're gonna be getting rid of my ass soon. So I need to find something else to do. So I'm trying this with you guys, and you tell me. I mean, we all got to try something, and maybe this is something I could do. And like I said, hey, live your dream, do the things that you want to do, and that's her dream. But I wouldn't be advertising. I don't know. I need to stop laughing. I wouldn't be out there saying I'm a rapping real estate agent. And she just said that way. That's me doing that. But I'm just saying, a real estate agent and a rapper is what that R&R on her hand stands for. But okay. Okay, so fast forward and we meet Stormy. So Stormy has an interesting backstory. I think is quite funny that I know Rick Ross and I know that other baby mama, what's her name, Tia Kemp. I never heard of Stoni. I didn't even hear this story about her and 50 Cent. And 50 Cent is another one that's on my list. If we continue to, or you continue to follow me, you'll hear me talk about my list and who's on that list. And 50 Cent is on that list. But anyway, I've never heard of Stoni. And so it was nice to get an introduction of her and her story. So she's Rick Ross's first child's mother. They have a 22-year-old daughter together, and she's a boutique owner. And so she goes to lunch with Alexis, and Stoni tells Alexis how she already feels kind of, she doesn't feel like she's a part of the group. She feels boxed out by the girls. And she's trying to figure out where it's coming from. And so she's asking Alexis, where is this coming from? I mean, I don't know them like that. Why are they already, like kind of icing me out? And so Alexis was like, really? You think so? I don't know. Now, so I'm not making fun of Alexis. And Alexis, I don't think is being fake like I was just being. Alexis seems like she's really down to earth. She gives me like a Mother Earth vibe, like a little Erica Baduism. She's that girl. She's maybe the flower child. She wants everybody to get along, and so she doesn't see what Stoni is talking about when they meet for lunch. But I think later on she does see it. Stoni, and they say she's really good friends with MJ. And I want to say that in one of the episodes, spoiler alert, they say that she became friends with MJ because of her daughter. So her daughter 22 hanging out with MJ. And so she's friends with her because of her daughter. That just it don't go together with me. But I guess the thing that they have in common, and I think she did say that, is that they both have kids with rappers. And so they do have that in common. I also like when she was giving her description of how she and Rick kind of met and her vibe and everything. She was saying how like he was such a big teddy bear and she didn't really see herself with him, but his charm and charisma, really won her over. Which is interesting because like Rick Ross be having a lot of girlfriends and she actually I think had him before he had the money. So it's nice to know that he has charisma. And that's why these women want him. Because I'm like, why he got all these girlfriends? They really just after the money, but maybe it's a little bit of the money and maybe it's a little bit of his charisma. Okay. So anyway, so she also talks about her story with where things weren't so good with Rick and they were getting into it or whatever. And she made an intimate tape with Rick Ross. And when they were beefing, he sold it to 50 Cent. And I'm sorry, like, what the F? Who does that? I don't understand these new men. This is some bull. I mean, this is just like with Martell on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Why are we taking our wives or exes' intimate tapes, showing them to a bunch of people like you little kids in school? Why would you want to show somebody your woman like that? Maybe they might want to go for that person. I don't get it. And then let alone sell it? That was crazy to me. And so when Rick and 50 were beefing, 50 releases the intimate tape. Long story short, Stoni sued him and should have. She won. If I'm not mistaken, she won like 5 million. You go, girl. I don't know when this happened. That's another one I'm gonna have to stick a pin in and get back to you guys about the time frame. But I don't know if that was around the Me Too movement or what. because I'm telling you, I don't remember ever hearing this story, and I literally do watch all the like the blogs and news sources and all that stuff. And I don't remember hearing about it. Maybe because I didn't know who she was. Maybe it was because they talked about Rick Ross and I just didn't care. I don't know. But I did not hear about this. And she got 5 million. And but the thing that threw me off is that she said that the house that she's living in is owned by Rick Ross. And she lives there. And I want to say rent free or whatever. But she says that she doesn't have company over out of respect for Rick. What the freak? If I won 5 million, either first of all, no. The fact that he gave that tape to 50 Cent. Uh-uh. I want my name on the title. I would have, while I was going after 50, I would have gone after my baby daddy too. He would have put that house in my name as compensation because that was some bull. It really was. And I don't understand how somebody could do that to their own child's mother. That just shows you the thought process out there. People are not really thinking. Why would you do that to your child's mother? Then the child will come to you someday. Daddy, did you do this? And what you gonna say? You gonna sound stupid as heck. Anyway, so she should have definitely took care of that back then when she was handling things with like once I got done with 50, I definitely would have went after him. And he would have gave me that house. It wouldn't have been she said she would to quote her, she said that she lives in a luxury prison. Nope, I'm not living in no luxury prison. Nope. I'm not having company over out of respect for you. Who the F are you? You're nobody to me at this point. You know, we have a child and I didn't do my due diligence before I got with you. You swept me off my feet. That's part of it, that happens. But you gonna compensate me. You gonna run me some money, something. And I'm sure he probably had to pay child support. But we're not even talking about child support. Child support is for the child. We're talking about what he did to her. The public humiliation. He humiliated her by distributing their personal interaction with others. And then because of some ish he got going on with another mofo, that mofo published the stuff on the internet for perpetuity. I mean, unless you got one of those great IT guys who can really scrub the video for you. We're still at the lunch apparently. And so Stoni thinks that maybe that's why the people or the other girls don't like her is because she got a sex tape out there. So they're already setting up the storyline for what's going on between Stoni and the other girls. Okay, so the next scene, the girls, and when I say the girls, everybody appears to be at Portia's house, and the girls are. We go through the list because I had to write this stuff down. I don't remember all these people's names. So the girls are Sherelle, Alexis, Ashley, Portia, and basically everybody except for MJ and Stoni are at Portia's house. So they're doing a little pool party, little cocktail, eating kind of thing. And I'm sorry, did I say Portia's house? I'm sorry, it wasn't Portia's house, it was Ashley's house. And so Portia mentions that um she's going to be selling a property soon in this area called Hibiscus Island. And so apparently Hibiscus Island is like a well-to-do neighborhood or area in Miami. And they were like, "Oh, who you going to be selling to?" And so she says, "Oh, I'm taking Stoni over there." And Ashley says, "Do you have proof of funds?" Why the heck did Sherelle just like bust out laughing? I mean, this truly tickled her. Like, she was dang near close to tears laughing. And I don't see why that's funny. And it's funny because once I saw this show, I decided to go back and watch Selling Tampa because I was like, I don't remember Sherelle acting like this. I don't remember having this reaction to Sherelle of, I don't like your ass. And so I watched Selling Tampa and I was right. Sherelle wasn't acting like this. I don't know if she got Miami fever and Miami got her feeling herself or something. Because when she was in Tampa, she was more pulled up. She what's another way of saying it? She seemed more respectful. She didn't seem like I'm gonna be honest with you. Initially, it was giving me colorist vibes, but thank God for me watching Selling Tampa because I was like, nah, I don't think she's a colorist. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on that. One, her mother is actually dark complected. Chad, he's dark complected, and then Chad's children, some of them are dark complected. So I don't know if she was a colorist. I don't think she would kind of be acting the way she is, when she's around other people who are darker melanated. Also, she was actually cool with one of her agents whose name was Colony from Selling Tampa. And it didn't give me any colorist vibes there. I don't think that's it. I think, if anything, she's being a little snobbish and snooty, which is still, I can't even say that because when you think about Stoni and MJ, they on the same little wavelength. And so it's like, and you'll see this as the episode goes on. She is down for MJ. So why do you have a problem with Stoni? So I think it's something else behind that. It's not colorism, and it's not necessarily being a snob. It's something else that they really haven't truly delved into in this first season, in my opinion. After she finished laughing, Portia was like, "Well, Rick Ross is her baby daddy. I'm sure he has proof of funds, so whatever, we'll see what happens." So then they move on, and I don't know. Sherelle says something to the effect that she can't really be around her because she's heard some bad things about around town about Stoni. And she said that, she can't be around anybody that doesn't benefit her. I don't think that's what she meant. I think she need to rephrase that because that didn't sound right. I truly believe, and again, I'm giving her grace. I'm giving her grace because I saw Selling Tampa, and the woman in Selling Tampa was different than the woman here. And so I think what she means, not benefit from, because to me, if you're saying that you can't benefit from them, it's like you're saying that you're a user, that you use everybody. And I don't think that's what she meant. I think she means that she can't be around anybody who, what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. My mother always told me, don't be around people, or don't go down to other people's level. Bring them up to your level. I think that's what she means. That she wants to be, she considers herself to be a high vibrational person. There we go. She considers herself a high vibrational person. And maybe she considers Stoni to be allegedly a low vibrational person. And so she's saying that she doesn't hang around people with low vibes. And again, this is hypocritical because when you see what's going on with MJ, what she's saying does not make sense because MJ is not, in my opinion, allegedly a high vibrational person. That's just me. I'm sorry. Sorry. So, okay, we move out of that scene, and then Sherelle and MJ meet up for a play date with their kids. So Sherelle, has a daughter named Serenity with Chad Johnson, and then MJ has her two kids. I don't remember if the baby was there. Honestly, I do know her daughter was there, but I don't remember if the baby was there. So Sherelle decides that she wants to mentor MJ, and so she talks to MJ about, have you looked into therapy? Have you done this? Have you done that? And MJ is like, no, I haven't. I know you told me this and that, but I got a lot of things going on in my life and da 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 da. And she was like, I know, because I get calls from clients all the time looking for you. And see, this just proves my point. Why are you giving this girl so much leeway as an employee? And she can't even be bothered to contact or stay in contact or keep communication open with her clients. You know why she can't keep communication open with her clients? Because she's too busy following up behind that Kodak Black person's head, behind. They do a flashback to where Sherelle is talking to Jules, who we haven't met yet, about how she was supposed to meet with Jules to get a car, and old girl was like, well, why is she getting a car? And she was like, she's trying to get it for Kodak. And she was like, why is she buying him a car? And so Sherelle says, oh, she busted the windows out his car. And so she was like, oh, she did a whole Jasmine Sullivan. So she is trying to replace the car that she damaged. How are you trying to be a real estate agent and you're damaging and what is it called? Vandalizing property? I just don't understand it. I really don't. And how are you as a business owner, and not just any business owner? You cater to luxury. You're a luxury real estate agent. And you mean to tell me this is who you want to represent your business? But you got a problem with Stoni? Can somebody tell me how to make that make sense? I mean, for real. I don't get it. Anyway, she explains how she did whatever, whatever, because he was cheating on her and all this other stuff. And I'm like, girl, you still got some growing up to do. But anyway, so they have their little thing, and Sherelle is just trying to, tell her, you remind me of me when I was your age and this, that, and the third. And that's why I'm trying to, rock with you and help you. I understand wanting to help somebody because maybe you see yourself in them and maybe you did the same thing and you don't want them to repeat what you did, but not at the detriment of your business. And especially when the stakes are so high in your particular circumstance. But that's just my opinion. Okay, lastly, we move to Portia's cocktail party. So at Portia's cocktail party, we get to meet the other girls that we haven't met so far. So we get to meet a woman named Kita. She's a tech entrepreneur, and she's also the wife of Tariq Hill. Again, I don't know this man. I don't follow the sports. But he a little man. A little man who apparently makes big money though. Because you can see this later on in the episode that they go shopping for a home, and wait till I tell you how much that home was worth. It was gorgeous. Anyway. Then we get introduced to another girl, and her name is Jules, and she's an event planner. And she's the ex-fiance of Duke Riley. Again, another athlete I don't know. Okay, and apparently that she used to work for Kanye West, and she was recently fired, and it was in the news. Again, I vaguely remember hearing something about this. I don't know if it was this girl or not, but I do remember hearing about him firing somebody, and so whatever. So then the last person that we're introduced to is Sade, who is the one who's on the intro episode, but they don't put her name on there, so I know who the heck she is. I don't find out till now who she is. And her name is Sade, and she's the fiance of Robbie Chosen. Crazy name. I don't know if he made that up like Ocho Cinco, but whatever. And they both come to the party. So everybody is drinking and mingling and everything. Oh, also, I didn't mention this because we already met Alexis, but we got to meet her ex-husband, and his name is Amari Studemir, I want to say. Forgive me if I got the name wrong. I'll correct it later on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to learn the names. Anyway, I don't know him. No, somebody other than two people, but I don't know that man either. I'm sorry to them. So it's funny when he comes to the party because everybody else's man looked like a, please forgive me. Well, no, I'm just going to say it the correct way. Look like a little person to him. And he's a tall basketball player. And they're a boxer and a football player. And they're like, they look like his kids. I'm just telling you. Anyway, so that's the introduction to the men. Um, then while at the party, Jules is mingling with, I want to say it was Sade and Ashley. It was. And so she's having a conversation. And while she's talking to them, she, miraculously gets a text from Kanye West. And she's like, ooh. And they're like, what, girl? What happened? And she's like, oh no. It's just a text from Kanye. And they were like, I thought something happened. What's he saying? And so, according to Jules, he sent her a text saying that somebody in his camp illegally accessed his stuff and people's information and sent text messages and did this, that, and the third, and that he may be responsible for firing her and all this other stuff. Whatever, I really don't care, but that's what she alleges. And so the girls being Sade and Ashley are telling her, well, do you even want to talk to him? You should sue him because apparently he didn't pay her last paycheck or whatever. And so they were saying that maybe she should sue him, and she's like, no, I just want to fill it out, see what he says, you know, because this other person didn't like me. So if he was responsible for it, that might be the problem. So I'm just gonna see where things go. Okay, so that's what happens with this. And so then we move to another scene where all the girls are sitting on the couch, I want to say, except for Stoni. Stoni may be somewhere else, but all the other girls are sitting there. And so I want to say it was Alexis brings it to the group and was like, I have a question, like why doesn't anybody like Stoni? Or she asked Sherelle maybe. And so Sherelle was like, I just can't F with her. I heard some things about her. There's the sex tape and, she may be an escort. And all of this is alleged. I didn't say this, Sherelle did. And so, um, Sade and who else was it? Sade and another girl said, well, that's not true because I actually Googled her. And when you Google her, it says that she was the victim, that Rick Ross sold her tape to 50 Cent. She sued 50 Cent and she won $5 million. So she was right. They victimized her. So I don't think she an escort, and I don't understand, why you got a problem with her. And so she just keeps leaning into this whole thing about her and the sex tape. So then Jules says, come on now. How many of you have made a sex tape with your man? Raise your hand. And so, like, a nice amount of the girls raised their hands. They were like, yeah, it's on my phone. I made sure I got the info and da da da. It's with me and da da da. And they were like, and so Jules was like, right. So stop acting hypocritical. Because, matter of fact, actually, Sherelle actually raised her hand too. And so she was like, stop acting hypocritical. Like, you wouldn't have, this could have been you. At this moment, Stoni joins the group. And so she's like, what's going on? And so Jules brings it to her attention, or updates her about what they were all talking about. And then she finally, confronts Sherelle, and I applaud her for that. She was like, why don't you like me? And so she was like, I'm just gonna be honest. She was like, I don't F with you because of this, that, and the third. And so then she was like, can I talk to you over here? So they go talk. They yang yang for a little while. And Sherelle just still doesn't have a good reason as to why she don't like Stoni. She just don't. She can't really say anything other than the sex tape, and that she heard that people said that Stoni was looking into her and all this other stuff. And that's it. I don't see that as a reason to not like somebody. If anything, it'll make me cautious. I'll be slow to move into a friendship with you. I'll proceed with caution. But I'm not going to automatically say, I don't like this heifer. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I don't like this girl. So, anyway. So, they end their conversation. They go back to the group. And then Stoni sits down. And then abruptly she pops her butt up and walks out. And talk about dramatic. I was like, what the? No, it was just awkward the way she walked off. I can understand being upset, and I don't know. Maybe it's also embarrassment, and maybe she was feeling the feelings and she was about to cry, because that'll be me. So you guys know I'm a Cancer, and so I'm an emotional person. I cry when I'm sad. I cry when I'm mad. I cry for no dang on reason. So, so maybe that was it. She didn't want the girls to see her cry, because I'm good for that. I'll go to the bathroom so people won't see me crying, because I'm like, I'm tired of people seeing me crying. Anyway, so that could have been it, but I would have been more smooth about it than Stoni was, because the way she jumped up, it's like, what's happening here? Anyway, and so episode 1 ends on that note. All right, then. I think I'm gonna make a part 2. This video wound up being longer than I thought. I thought I could do 2 in 1, but no. So join me for the next video. It'll be coming soon. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Again, I'm just starting out. I would love to hear all the positive or constructive criticism you can give me to help me improve my show or my channel. And I will be doing some other things besides the reviews. Like I was telling you, the name of my show is called Out of Curiosity. I may be doing some Out of Curiosity questions towards the end of the week. We'll see how it goes. I'm still trying to get, a schedule around how I'm going to do things and like what I want to do. So thank you for joining me this evening. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and then comment below on your way out. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.